everyone, thanks for pressing play. Welcome to another episode of ExcaliburCCGTV. This handsome devil is Randy, I am Chris. We are ExcaliburCCG.com, Excalibur Comics, Cards and Games in Shreveport, Louisiana and Texarkana, Texas. Guys, we are here to talk about comics for January 15th of 2014. We're like already halfway through the first month. That's kind of crazy, but I won't harp on that for too long. Guys, we got a lot of stuff to talk about because it's a huge week this week. We got a lot of, and there's one, you got to admit it, there is one huge, at least one huge book hitting the shelves this week that we'll be covering. So stay tuned for that. But guys, actually, Randy's got some stuff to share here to start off the episode before we go into anything else.
Real quickly, we're not going to take a lot of time with this. That's one of the things we've been trying to do is just get out there and show some of the things that we've been getting back into the store. And I think only one or two of these might be new. We've got a couple new omnibuy here. One of them is the... Just imagine Stan Lee creating the DC Universe, if anybody remembers that, True Believers. That was when Stan Lee betrayed Marvel and went over to DC and had a new take on all the characters. The one that I know is new is a fan favorite, Deadpool by Joe Kelly here, and that is a huge collection of Deadpool 1 through 33, and -1, 0, 1000, and lots of other stuff.
It's a huge, man. It's
huge Deadpool. And then we also have, for those who love the zombies, Marvel Zombies Omnibus. This is a cool one. This covers a lot of them.
I see Mark Miller's name here on the front, so it must cover the Ultimate.
1, 2, Return, 3, 4, 5, Supreme, Evil Evolution, yes, the Ultimate Fantastic Four, lots of different ones. Love this stuff. This was great, and you know, who doesn't love Captain America with the head, you know, the brain showing there after he got his head sliced off. Or, you know, he got a little haircut.
Yeah, he did.
We also have, everybody has been loving the Marvel Legends characters, and for those that love the Marvel Legends characters, before those were hot, Marvel Select characters, Marvel Legends were hot, and we just got some of these back in, like the Phoenix. That's one of the Chase figures there, I believe, because of the color of the costume. Our boy Sentry, and we have the clean cut Sentry. Pose there. And then I love this one. This is an awesome Loki there.
Nice.
I mean, the sculpt on his face. I love the horns there. Very cool character. We have tons of these that we just got in here. So, people, come by. You know, send us a line if you like what you see and you haven't been able to find one of these figures, or maybe you're looking for one and want to see what we have. Yeah. If we have it, we can get in touch with you and let you know. Yeah, we've got it. We can, you know, sell it to you, something like that.
Very cool. Very cool. Man, those... I remember the Just Imagine, because Stan Lee got to team up with all kinds of awesome artists.
Oh, yeah.
We had Adam Hughes, there was all kinds of...
Joe Kubert, Jim Lee, John Buscema, Dave Gibbons, Kevin McGuire. There's one of your favorites, John Byrne, Gary Frank, Scott McDaniel, Chris Picciolo, Walter Simonson, John Cassidy, Jerry Ordway. Yeah, tons and tons of the characters there. Some people that I don't think really drew for DC at the time there were going over there and creating some of those comics with them. Yeah,
awesome. So guys, those are here and they're waiting on you, so come by and get them. Hey, a little quick announcement. We've had I covered it on the tail end of last week's episode, but I wanted to go ahead and get out in front of it this week. If you're trying to leave a comment, please make sure that you're signed in to a Google Plus account, because otherwise you won't be able to leave a comment and there'll be issues with it. And we want you to be able to comment because we love talking to our viewers. As you can tell from our previous episodes, we get tons of comments and we love engaging with you guys and talking with you guys. But make sure that you have a Gmail/Google Plus account. I read today where they're kind of integrating that even more, even with Gmail and YouTube and all that. But you have to have a Google Plus account to be able to comment with the way that Google has changed things up on YouTube. So make sure that you're signed in and leave us a comment. And now we have something for you to leave us a comment or two or three about, because this week's question is kind of the opposite or the counterpart of last week's question. If you were in charge of Marvel Comics right now, what are the top 3 things that you would change with Marvel Comics, whether it's the creators, the characters, the publishing, any aspects of Marvel Comics, what would be the top 3 things that you would change right now?
Or you could go in the direction that Brad Campbell went in and talk more about the film side of Marvel Comics.
Sure, why not? Have you got 3 things, or up to 3 things you can think of?
Yeah, I think I do. First and foremost, Captain America needs to be fixed. That is a terrible book right now that is just in desperate need of being made. There's no pride in Captain America right now. He's a ridiculous character. He's going to set fire to his personal belongings, and it's just I've ranted about this before, but they need somebody else on that book, somebody that has a vision for Captain America. Because call me an oldie here, but I like when Captain America gives his little speech to the person about their wrongdoing and how you've got to uphold and be better than that. I like when Cap does that. That's part of who his character is there. That's what why he was one of the perfect candidates there to go in and take the formula, because he had these ideals.
Exactly.
So
yeah,
there's that. I miss Star-Lord's costume that they had here with the Abnett and Lanning run. That was such an awesome costume, and I'm just really not a big fan of this costume they have right now for him. So that would be one of the things that they definitely need to fix. And then Marvel really needs to cut down on using the same characters over and over and over again. They've introduced a whole lot of really good, really new characters, and I'd like to see a lot more of these. For a while we had the Avengers Academy, the Avengers Initiative, and Avengers Arena. They have some really cool, young, up-and-coming Avengers superhero characters, and I'd like to see a lot more of those. And on the flip side, I'd like to see a lot more of the young X-Men characters, new X-Men, those characters, Anole, Quentin Quire, Iddy, however you want to say her name, Pixie, all these, I'd just like to see them have books with these younger characters, rather than having them as like secondary or tertiary kind of characters here and there. It's just more fun there when you start say, let's give Wolverine a break, and instead of having him in 20 books, we'll have him in 10 books, and we can spare one of these other books to give to a different character like this.
For me, number one, I would love to see less of some of the top characters that you see, and they are top characters, but I would love to see less of Wolverine in 20 issues and other things too. And I would love to see someone. It's just to me. A second thing I would love to see is there is a new Punisher series coming out.
Yeah,
but let's just be honest here. I mean, how long is that going to last?
That's the same with Black Widow.
Punisher is. It may be a bit cliched by this point, but I mean, he is still such a unique character among the Marvel Universe, and I really think that he should be one of their top, maybe not one of their top books, but one of their. He should be on issue 100 by now. I mean, something like that. I really think that he should have more longevity than a short series that gets canceled every 1 or 2 years.
They need to have tiers for their books with their expectations of the sales, because you're never going to have Punisher or Black Widow or Hawkeye or someone like that sell at the same pace as Wolverine or Amazing Spider-Man or X-Men, one of those books. You're never going to have that. But you have a following of people that buy these books. So, if you go, well, if it sells this many units, it's meeting that tier standard.
Yeah.
So something like that would be awesome, because Punisher, there's no reason why he shouldn't have a long-standing book right now.
Yeah, and 2 more quick things. Marvel seems to be better with getting out a monthly issue with with an artist, like an arc of artists. We'll have a fill-in issue here or there, but here recently I saw it with Thor God of Thunder. We didn't even have Brian Garney finish the current arc that he's on with Thor God of Thunder. Get an artist that does all of them, all 6 issues or all 4 issues or whatever it is. They seem to be better Marvel seems to be better at me with getting that and getting them published, unlike DC, who want to, hey, we're doing this, and yeah, there's 3 months between this issue and that issue. Marvel hasn't been perfect in that regard, but on the other side of that, I would love to see, I miss Joe Quesada's artwork on interiors. I would love to see him do more art, not just covers. I want to see some more storytelling from him.
Yeah.
And he's a big kahuna now, so, but I'm in charge. So you'll do a book, sir. But guys, those are some of our thoughts on changes.
2 or 3?
I did 4, I think.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay. I lost count.
You can do more if you want, but at least 3, guys. But yeah, I'm kind of biased in this regard because I'm more of a Marvel guy than I am a DC guy. But Marvel is not perfect, so that's just me.
I will say, going back to last week's question, I agreed wholeheartedly with Skip about JSA. Man, I miss those characters. That was one of those. I don't care. I don't really care for the big 7 from DC. I love those Golden Age characters, the classic characters. Those are the ones that were the coolest there, and I'd love to see more of those. But give us your ideas, guys. You came up with some great ones here, and
there were some great answers from last week. So it was good. Yeah,
and I mean, I just like that we've been able to initiate some conversations here among other than just the guys saying, "Oh, I'm going to pick up this," which we don't mind hearing because we like to hear what you're picking up.
Yeah.
But this just helps us familiarize people with like what their ideas are and how they view comics.
Exactly. Sign into Google Plus and leave a comment. Tell us below what you're in charge of Marvel. Tell us what the top 3 things are that you would change right now. Ready to move on, bro?
Let's do it. Let's talk about some events.
Guys, we got events. I'll go ahead and start off. We got Forever Evil still continuing this week, guys. And on that vein, we do have Constantine number 10. This is the Blight storyline, part 8 of 18. So we still got 10 more parts of this going on. With this Blight storyline going on throughout the supernatural type JLA issues, they've been bringing in a lot of characters that I don't think we've seen too much of so far in the DC 52. I could be wrong. But with this one, we see Constantine actually having to look. It looks like he's facing the wrath of the Spectre in this issue. And also, this issue, the events of this issue are going to continue on directly in to Trinity of Sin Pandora number 7. So guys, if you are reading the Forever Evil storylines, this is another one to get. This is the Blight storyline, Constantine versus possibly the Spectre, or surviving the Spectre, and then going straight from this into Trinity of Sin Pandora number 7. What about you, sir?
I hope real quickly there that the Spectre does not become part of the new Justice League Dark, because that's way too powerful of a character to have for something like that. I don't mind him popping up here or there, but keep him away from Team Book.
Yeah.
We also have coming out from the the Forever Evil storylines here, Justice League of America number 11. This one has my girl Stargirl in it, and Martian Manhunter. They are the 2 that have kind of escaped and been able to figure out kind of what's going on, but they're not. They're alone. There's nobody else there with them, and so they're having to go. I guess not the most ideal cross-country trip here, but they're having to cross through some territories that are very villain-filled territories, and the one that they're going to be coming across, they're in Gotham, but they're in Clayface's territory in Gotham, so they're having to somehow survive Clayface and, I'm sure other villains while they're trying to get to their destination. So, awesome book going on so far. Another part of the Forever Evil story.
Speaking of Gotham, we got Forever Evil Rogues Rebellion. This is issue number 4. With the last issue, number 3, we saw where the Rogues were on the run, and Mirror Master's powers messed up and dropped them right into the middle of Gotham. So Gotham seems to be a real key component here to all this going on. But in this issue, we got the Crime Syndicate and the Secret Society are still after the Rogues. And then also in this issue, the Rogues are having to face off against all the escapees from Arkham Asylum as well. Nice. So there we go, guys. They're having some fun apparently with Gotham City, Arkham, and all these characters that are part of Batman's kind of mythos there. So guys, there you go. There's another one to check out. Number 4 there.
Yeah, and wrapping up the Forever Evil, we have Suicide Squad number 27. And with this, we have there's some sort of betrayal within the squad. You know, surprise, surprise, they are a group of villains, and so I don't know who's betraying, who's going to have to fend off what. We also have Jim Gordon Jr. and Amanda Waller. They've been stuck in Belle Reve, and they're having to survive, I guess, the inmates as they are attacking and whatnot. And you have a lot of angry people there because Waller has been using everybody. And, you know, I don't know if I'd want to be trapped and have my life in the hands of Jim Gordon Jr. He is a psycho that... but I mean, it's Matt Kent at the helm here, and he's been writing an awesome story with him. That, I've enjoyed the Suicide Squad.
Moving on from there, we used to have Batgirl number 27 hitting this week.
Yeah, Gothtopia.
Gothtopia still continuing from Detective Comics 27. Then we had a Batwing issue from last week.
Yeah.
That was a Gothtopia related. But in this issue, we're looking at Batgirl and the woman who tried to kill Jim Gordon showing up with Nightfall here in the series.
Yeah.
And with this whole Gothtopia thing, apparently things are pretty perfect in Gotham, unless you peel underneath there a little bit and get a closer look to see what's going on. And the mystery around Gothtopia has not been determined yet, but we'll find out more going forward.
It'll be interesting to see how it can be perfect to have Batgirl and, you know, the person who wants to kill her father being, you know, sidekicks there, or you know, hero and sidekick.
Right,
so,
right.
We'll see. We've also got Revolutionary War that kicked off this last week, and we have our second issue coming out. And with Revolutionary War, this one is dealing with Siobhan is, I believe, the character's name.
Yeah.
And Siobhan, she was once Dark Angel. She has had some sort of vision that's happening here, and with this vision, it's telling her there's some sort of danger that's going to strike the heroes of the Marvel Marvel UK, I don't know, Marvel Universe, Marvel UK Universe, I'm not sure which of the two, but they are going to, or she's going to have to, you know, don the outfit again of Dark Angel and fight there. So we've got that. This is also one of the things, guys, be on the lookout here, because shortly after I think this wraps up, I've seen it in the previews for the March solicitations that are out right now, where they're saying a lot of these Marvel UK characters are going to be showing up in the regular Marvel books there. So you're going to, you know, people are going to be picking these up in March and going, wait, who's this character? This is a perfect spot, jumping on spot to pick up the book, read, figure out who, kind of get introduced to these characters, and see, you know, maybe how it is that they're showing up in these other books.
Very cool. Kind of makes sense for them to be more fully integrated into the whole Marvel U.
Yeah, they've got a lot of really cool characters there too. So
that's cool, guys. I think the last one that we have, maybe there's one or two more, but we got Cataclysm Ultimates number 3 hitting the shelves. We got the whole Cataclysm storyline that is still going on. We still got 2 more issues of Cataclysm Ultimates Last Stand. But guys, with this issue of Cataclysm Ultimates number 3, Galactus apparently gets a hold of the ultimate weapon, and we may see an end to Nick Fury and his Howling Commandos. So I don't know about that.
I didn't know he had Howling Commandos.
He does. He has his own team. They're different. It's a different group, but it's kind of cool. I would love to see actually a mini series about them, to be honest with you.
There's no Dum Dum.
Is he a part of that? I'm not sure. I know that there's Hercules is part of it, and there's a couple of other characters. The Ultimate Hercules, if I'm not mistaken. There's 4 or 5 people that he has for this Howling Commandos team that he has there. So,
well, there are a couple more event stories going on. We also have Inhumanity is coming out with Inhumanity Spider-Man.
Oh, okay.
And this one is going to take a look at, you know, Spider-Man. All this damage has happened from Attilan, just, you know, blowing up over New York, and he's kind of learning it. This looks. I don't know if this is going to affect him in his regular book, but he's learning the lesson that just because you have superpowers doesn't mean that you are superior. That they're, you know, and the cover just has him swinging by, dropping a child off to a firefighter. So maybe it's going to be one of those things where it's a focus on the firefighters and the police officers, and, you know, him learning a lesson from that. We also have Marvel Now. You know, I've placed this within our events because this is their second wave that's coming out here, and they have Thunderbolts NOW. This
Yeah.
is like number 1, and this is the introduction of Ghost Rider to the team. And this is Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider. This is not
Right.
the new Ghost Rider that we're going to be seeing in a solo series later on. And Johnny Blaze is called up to help out because there is the character Mercy.
Right.
You're familiar with her. Yeah. You're the one reading Thunderbolts right now.
Yeah, apparently Mercy's gone off on her own tangents.
Yeah, and was she helping the Thunderbolts at one time?
She was working with them through the manipulation of Ross.
But now she's like going crazy, murdering all sorts of stuff, and they need Ghost Rider to help take her down. Mm-hmm. But they're not sure if Ghost Rider is going to help the team more so than hurt the team.
Right.
So there's a lot of craziness going on there. But Ghost Rider fans, the lawsuit that has been going on that has kept Ghost Rider out of comics is over now, and so now we're seeing Ghost Rider being integrated back into the Marvel universe here. Yeah. This is where it starts with Johnny Blaze.
Cool. Yeah, and then we got that new series coming out in a couple of months. So I think that's it, man. There's a lot of storyline stuff.
That is. I think we also have tons of number 1s to talk about.
Okay, you want to talk about the big one first?
Yeah. Say my name. I think my name, the name I need to say is, what was it?
Kamota!
Kamota, that's right. He's finally back here. And we have Michael Warren, where he is, when he says the name Kamota, then he is transformed
into
Miracleman.
Miracleman number 1.
That's right. Miracleman number 1 is out, and if this seems kind of familiar to you, maybe Captain Marvel, Shazam. That's been one of these things that's gone on throughout Marvel and DC. That's why they call him Captain Marvel, and then they call him Shazam, and they go back and forth. But Miracleman is back, and right now what we're seeing is just the reproduction of older material into the books, and they have, I don't know if it's like a 2-year period or something like that before they finally get through all the old stuff, and then they're going to then continue on with, is it number 25 or something
somewhere
like
around
that?
there.
Somewhere around there, with Mark Buckingham back on art, because he said, whenever this happens, I'll be there. But this right here will contain material from Warrior number 1, Miracleman number 1, and the Miracleman Primer.
Okay.
So that's where this material is going to be coming from. Miracleman, as far as I know, because I've never read any of the old stuff, I'm excited to read this for my first time here.
Same for me.
I thought that it was an old character, but this says a lot of the 80s stories here. So I'm not sure where it's picking up exactly, where Warrior and Miracleman fall, but we're finally getting Miracleman. Todd McFarlane has said, I give. Everything is now where it should be, and we're going to, those of us that have never gotten to read this, finally we can read it. Yeah,
and you know what? They actually are recoloring it. Have you seen the recolored pages?
Recolor, re-lettering, everything about this is they are going through, so it's not going to be one of those where you pick it up and it's that pixel on it.
Exactly.
It's going to look totally new,
modern. Yeah.
I mean, the most I can compare to this is that if you picked up the old, a few years ago they put out the collection of the Rocketeer, and they had Laura Martin, who's done many stuff for Warren Ellis, the Planetarian stuff. Yeah. She went through and she colored over Dave Stevens' art.
Okay.
And it looked brand spanking new. It was amazing that what they can do. So this is going to look totally awesome, and it's going to be one of those things that if you've only seen the kind of crummy, inferior quality, not of the people's actual art that they put into it, but the paper that it was on and everything.
Right.
You're going to be in for a real treat with that.
Oh man, I'm so looking forward to this. I've never read it either. And guys, don't be jaded. Get this and read this, because this was the precedent for so many other stuff that stories that you've seen. Dark Knight, the Authority, just Watchmen, just stuff that brought in that darker tone to superheroes.
This was for superhero comics, kind of what Watchmen also was. This was like a groundbreaking with some of the stuff they did.
Exactly.
Also, this is going to be $5.99 for this issue, I believe. I think it's like a 64-page issue. There's a lot of material that they're putting into it.
Okay, that's cool. Guys, we could talk about this forever, but let's move on because I'm almost as excited about this next one, and because I'm just a huge fan of this character, and I love what the creators have done with it. But I'm talking about Gravel, Combat Magician #0, hitting the shelf this week. Guys, if you haven't seen this, this is from Avatar Press, not one of the bigger publishers, but they still put out some great stuff, and this is definitely one of them. Think of this as like, what if Harry Potter grew up all messed up and had to serve in Her Majesty's SAS as a magician? It's a combat magician. Gravel is designed and built for doing combat work, military work as a magician, and there are other characters like him from other countries and stuff like that he has to fight against.
Yeah.
So this was Warren Ellis isn't on this one, but Mike Wolfer is on. He's one of the co-creators, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
and he's writing this.
I think he was the one who's been writing it from the get-go. It was Warren Ellis' idea that he had in Stranger Kiss.
Yeah.
And Wolfer has always been the guy writing it, and I think he was drawing.
He was drawing, several of them.
But he's not now.
The last one, the last series, they brought in Oscar Jimenez to draw a lot of that, and that looks really good.
Really?
There's a different artist coming on for this one, though. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce his name because it's different. But
Gabriel Reert.
So, there you go. How about it? There you go. That works. But guys, if you like supernatural, horror, action, adventure, this is going to be right up your alley because Gravel deals with the dark side, the underbelly of people getting a hold of magic abilities or powers, or getting a hold of some sacred tome or something like that, and doing bad things with it. He's the one that rights those wrongs.
And he, in his mind, in his opinion, he is the only one that knows how to properly handle magic. To him, pretty much everybody else is going to mishandle it in some way eventually. So, I love the first series they did on this one. So it's cool to see that he's back here.
It's been too long, man. It's been too long. So great. Check it out, guys. This is one to check out. What about
for me? He's super cool and he knows kung fu. Drives a $5,000 car and wears a $100 suit. Black Dynamite is back with #1 here. This is a 4-issue miniseries. I love the cult classic Black Dynamite. It was a spoof, tongue-in-cheek of nod at the blaxploitation. Okay, yeah. Done totally blaxploitation throughout the whole film there. If you have not seen this, it's awesome. They even had all the same people do the voices for an Adult Swim cartoon of it. They put out a comic here or there of it before, but this is the first miniseries. This is from IDW. Okay. This is just going to be awesome.
Do you march? Do you vote? Let me guess. You're one of these Tom Slick brothers think you can get by on good looks, a wink and a smile, huh?
I don't know about Tom Slick, but thank you for the compliment.
That's not what I meant. Not that I think that you have good look. I mean, you know these guys with their...
winks and smiles.
Yeah. What about the smile?
I am smiling.
If you've never seen Black Dynamite, you need to find this and watch it, and you need to get this comic and read it because it rocks.
I had no idea you were so excited.
Yes, totally excited for this.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I'll just say this: any fight scene between Black Dynamite and Richard Nixon.
Oh my God.
It rocks! Yes.
That's cool, man. That's super cool. Guys, another one from IDW, since we're talking about them, is X-Files Conspiracy #1. This is a 2-issue miniseries, but I'm bringing this up because it doesn't mainly deal with Mulder and Scully, but it deals with the lone gunmen. And for those of you that have seen X-Files, you know who the lone gunmen are. These are kind of like the advisors to Molly and Scolder.
Mulder and Scully.
Mulder and Scully, thank you. remember. But guys, with this issue, with this miniseries, we're finding the lone gunmen have come across some information, and are investigating these rare appearances, these urban myths that they've heard about, like turtles that walk around on their feet and have ninja skills, and the spirit of vengeance that's come back from the dead, and these shape-shifting robots that turn into cars, and others, and this group of guys that go around and are actually able to manhandle ghosts. So it looks fun. Of course, you know what I'm talking about. You guys have been around long enough. The Lone Gunmen are going to be checking out. Yeah. The Crow, Transformers, Ghostbusters.
Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So these two issues explore what the Lone Gunmen are going to find out with that investigation.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. We've also got Skyman #1. This is a 4-issue miniseries. It's from Dark Horse Comics. And this is cool because this is going to be integrated into the mythos and everything of Captain Midnight. Okay. Skyman has taken on Captain Midnight. He's been defeated. It was an embarrassing defeat in some way. I don't know. And then he has somehow accidental or killed an innocent person. So it looks like he works for, there's an organization he works for, and they don't like that they've kind of put a bad mark over the name of Skyman. So they are going to now go and they are going to find Air Force Sergeant Eric Reed. He is a wounded veteran that they are now going to take and try and give a new lease on life by putting him into the outfit and having him try to be this superhero, because it did not work out for the previous Skyman. This is Josh Fialkov on the writing, and it is one of my favorite and I think most underrated artists out there, Manuel Garcia. On art with that. So this is going to be a good one that's come out there, and they just all these little miniseries that have been coming out from Dark Horse right now have been red hot. So jump on board with this one. Yeah, very cool. And Josh Fialkov's kind of getting around a little bit more. Way to go, Josh! Everywhere. Way to go. Hey guys. Sorry. Guys, with this week, though, another big #1, because there's a lot of fans for this series, but Season 1 is wrapped up, and Injustice Year 2, #1, hits the shelf this week. And with that last issue, let me say that Alfred had quite the moment, and it was very nice. It's worth checking out that issue just for Alfred's moment. But guys, what we see this week, Superman, his power has grown with control of the governments and control of Earth, basically. But with this new #1, we're also seeing a threat that is approaching from the far edges of the galaxy as well. Is it Brainiac? Is it something else? We don't know. This issue will launch into that storyline of what Superman will do about that and his control of what's been going on. Because you've seen the game, you know what's going on there. This is the beginnings of all of that. So, Injustice Year 2, #1, hitting the shelves this week. That's right. We also have Disney Kingdom's Seekers of the Weird. That's #1 of a 5-issue miniseries here. And this one is cool because this was taking the concept that Walt Disney Imagineer, what's his name, Raleigh Crump, in 1965 came up with this idea for the Museum of the Weird, but it never became actualized. So now it's going to be... you're going to see it for your first time in comics here. Okay. And you have these two young characters, Maxwell and Melody, where they team up with their swashbuckling uncle to save their family, save the world, as they are going through the world's most weird and dangerous museum. So it's looks like a fun one, and anybody who loves Walt Disney, Disney World, all that, this is going to be one of those they may want to look at.
Yeah, I thought it'd be a great kids book to pick up.
Kids book to pick up, and for everybody who the inner kid within them. So good for the world.
The world, guys. Another one that's coming out from Image Comics that I'm particularly interested to check out is Egos #1, hitting the shelves. Stuart Moore and Gus Storms. Stuart Moore's done a bunch of work.
Lots of work. I love Stuart Moore's work he's done, but. Right now, I'm the only thing I can think of is Giant Robot. There was something from AIT Planet Lark. I loved his work, but I'm drawing a blank on it.
But he's recently done for Image. He's done the Great Pacific. And if I'm not mistaken, he did that other one.
No, that's Joe Kelly.
That's Joe Harris. I'm sorry,
Harris.
I mistaken.
Joe Harris.
But he didn't Stuart Moore also do that Image superhero series about the illegitimate superhero kids of that superhero? Remember that? Anyway, Stuart Moore's been around.
The whatever 5?
Yeah.
No, that was the guy who.
Oh man, we're blowing this.
Jay Faber did that.
That's what it was. Okay.
No, he's
done Marvel work.
He has, and I want to say he did Stormwatch, one of the Stormwatch series, and I'm sorry, Stuart Moore.
We're butchering this.
I love your work. I just am trying to blink on it.
But this series, I want to check this out because this reminded me. It's not exactly alike, but it kind of reminded me of Jupiter's Legacy, where it's dealing with some legacy superheroes.
Yeah.
And in this series, we're looking at an older superhero bringing back his team for a threat against the world. He has to rebuild his team, and with doing so, he may cross a line with his wife along the way to get this team back together and to have them face the threat that they're facing now. I'm not going to say it's exactly like Jupiter's Legacy because I really don't think it is, but it gives me that feeling of help. What has he done?
The one that I love that he did Lone from Dark Horse Comics that was Jerome Pena on art.
Yes, there we
go. That was the first time I saw Jerome Pena. Para, he's been around with everything. Apparently he's done some Punisher, some Swamp Thing, Hellblazer, Books of Magic. So he's been around with Vertigo forever. But the thing I was thinking, and he also did the short-lived Namor series, The First Mutant. But the thing I was thinking of that I loved of his was Lone.
I remember you talking about that before.
Yeah.
Thank you, Internet. But guys, this is one. If you are, when it comes to Image Comics, we've said this before, but it's been a while, so I'm going to remind you. If you are even slightly interested in a brand new Image comic that's coming out, go ahead and add to your pull list and get it. Because a lot of these Image #1s are hitting the shelves. They are in high demand and they are under ordered.
And they're gone.
And then they're gone, and then you're paying $20 to get issue #1 on eBay. So add it to your list, get it, don't get price gouged in the aftermarket and the second market, and check these out. This is one that you should check out. I'll be checking it out. If you get it, tell me what you think of it.
We've also got Night of the Living Deadpool #1, this 4-issue miniseries. Tell them about it because I don't have it written down.
Night of the Living Deadpool. We see that Deadpool goes to sleep after a big food binge and wakes up, and the zombie apocalypse has happened. Uh-oh. He is awake in a zombie-infested world, and the Merc with a mouth is going to try not to be the Merc inside of somebody's mouth. So that's what we got. And guys, if you've been digging what Cullen Bunn has been doing with Deadpool, he did the Deadpool Killology, Deadpool Killustrated, whatever was going on. I know that people love that stuff. Cullen Bunn is back for this. And we got the entire series is supposed to be done in black, white, and red as well. Oh, cool. So that's a nice little twist there. And Deadpool fans rejoice. Now you've got your own zombie version of Deadpool hitting the shelves this week.
Nice. I think that wraps up our #1s.
It's a ton of them.
Let's real quickly jump into our favorites here.
Show enough.
I'm going to start us off.
Go ahead.
I'm going to talk about the one I'm looking forward to is Uncanny X-Men #16. We have, of course, Chris Bachalo on art, one of my favorites there. And this is going to be a key issue because this is where Magneto is kind of at a crossroads. He has been, this big-time mutant terrorist, trying to save his people, and then he bowed down, bent knee to Cyclops and said, "Lead me, I'll follow you." And people maybe aren't taking him as seriously anymore, so he has to step up and decide what's going to happen, where's he going to go. It's going to possibly put him at odds with Cyclops and the Uncanny X-Men with his choice, and we're going to see this will lead directly into, speaking of Cullen Bunn's new Magneto series that will be coming out in March. Yeah. And so this is going to be one of those don't miss books as we explore, just what's going on in the mind of Eric Lehnsherr.
Yes. I forgot about that.
Yeah, big.
I'll be definitely getting Magneto. Yeah. Guys, the one that I'm looking forward to, we raved about it, and I am raving about it still, is Ghosted. #6 hits the shelf from Image Comics. It was originally solicited as a miniseries, but there was just so much interest in it and stuff. It's continuing. Jackson Winters is out and about. He's dealing with his own personal ghost that he's been dealing with and was very strongly hinted at. And parts of it were revealed with the first 5 issues.
Right.
But while Jackson Winters is trying to deal with all that, there are folks that now know that he's out and about, and they have plans for his talents and his skills as well. So I am really looking forward to this, because with issue number 5, there's been a bit of a gap in between, because they made it an ongoing. But with that last issue, you already saw it. Some people already were on his tail and stuff, and I want to see what happens next. This has been a great series.
And I'll just say real quickly, if there's one thing I could change about Image Comics, it would be this. Image, stop soliciting things as, just a new number 1 and not telling us if it's to me that looks like an ongoing.
Yeah.
And they have other books that they very specifically solicit as number 1 of 4 or something like that.
Yeah.
So we know it's a miniseries. And Ghosted is one of those that when it came out was just number 1, and so I thought an ongoing series, and then all of a sudden they said due to the success it is now an ongoing series. And I just saw that with their Image Expo and them talking to James Robinson, that he was making comments and said, well, due to the success of Saviors number 1, it's now an ongoing series. I thought it was already an ongoing series because it just said number 1. So please just stop playing the games with us and tell us if it's a number 1 or if it's a mini series. All these books are going to be hot enough that the writers need to go ahead and plan for something beyond just a mini series, because a lot of times the books fall apart because the writers aren't ready for something beyond that.
Oh man, I was gonna save Image for next one.
Were you?
You make it a twofer.
Were you really?
I really wasn't sure, but I was kind of thinking about it.
I really don't know what else to tell Image, because they're all creator owned there. I want more clarity from them.
That was So anyway,
So,
speaking of even more of Image, we got Velvet number 3 hitting the shelves.
Yeah.
Yes. And speaking of the Image Expo, we're gonna get tons of stuff from Ed Brubaker over the next 5 years.
Yeah,
Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips specifically.
But
let's talk about Velvet.
This is Steve Epting.
Yes, and it is awesome, guys.
Yeah.
These first 2 issues have just, the bottoms fell out. We are in the fray. We are in the heat of it.
Right.
With Velvet on the run from the organization that she works for, and there is still so much more about her. She is so much more than what than the people, her co-workers, thought she was, what anybody thought she was, especially the readers. So now she's on the trail to find out what was going on with Agent X-14 and what he found out that led to his death. Yeah. And she's hot on the trail of finding out even more about that with the people that killed X-14 on her tail, as well as her agency looking for her now because they think that she did it.
And it's kind of annoying that the people within her agency, I never like the technique that a lot of writers use there. I don't know what the term would be, where her boss knows that she's innocent, knows that she's more than what she appears to be, and he just kind of sits around smoking on his pipe going, well, and it's like, help her.
Exactly.
Help her. Come on. But it's been an amazing read. I love it. And she's kind of having to, she's been out of the field for so long, she's having to recall a whole lot of things and a lot of tricks. And it's just been a really cool kind of read so far.
Yeah, issue 1 and 2, man, we've covered a lot of ground just in those 2 issues.
Yeah,
guys, this is a series you should be reading.
Yeah.
What's next for you, bro?
Speaking of Image, they also have Rat Queens number 4. This has been a very shocking book for me. I did not expect it. I was not going to pick it up. I flipped through it. Oh, okay, I'm loving this, and right now the Rat Queens, they have figured out that this is all kind of within a D&D kind of world. They figured out that someone has set them up for them and some other different groups up to take them out because they're rowdy and they're always causing trouble within the city there. And they thought they knew who it was. They're not so sure anymore that they know who it is, but they're going to have to put that all on pause right now because while they were out on this red herring of a wild goose chase, they came across a giant troll that they had to take out, and now that troll's daughter is not too happy.
Oh,
and so she's looking for some retribution there on the Rat Queens. So this is how do you say his name? Ken
the writer?
Yeah, the writer.
Curtis Wybe.
Curtis Wybe. Yeah, this is I wanted to say the actor Ken one time. Curtis Wybe. Yeah, this is Curtis Wybe writing it. Man, this is hilarious. I love this stuff in this book, and hopefully if they can keep it going, because this is for I know 5 rounds out the story arc. I don't know if it goes on beyond that because we haven't seen anything. Okay. So, Image, once again, you're leaving me out there going, I think it's an ongoing series, but maybe it's not.
Yeah.
So, you know, I hope it is, and I hope it can keep up the humor and, like, the awesomeness there with it.
Guys, another one for me, and I think for you, is Daredevil. Yeah. Number 35 hitting the shelf this week. We have seen the tension and the culmination of what's been going on with the Sons of the Serpent group that Daredevil has been facing and fighting against. And with this issue, it looks like they actually they're in a position to actually not just affect where Daredevil is in his city, but they're looking at branching out across the nation and taking control of the nation through the media and other various infiltration techniques that they're using.
Yeah.
But now Daredevil is going to be teaming up with some of his allies, and a key thing that we're going to see in this issue is Elektra shows up, and it's going to be setting the tone for the next issue, which will be the last issue of the series, and may be responsible for why he's making the big change that he's making, leaving where he is and going to San Francisco.
Yeah.
So
the one thing that kind of confuses me is they have a whole lot to tell in these last 2 issues here, and they just had the big bomb drop on Matt at the end of last issue with his partner Foggy.
Yes.
So we're you know these solicitations mentioned nothing about that. So I'm going, what's going on here? This has been a book that for me it was so good for so long, and it had a little hiccup after their big reveal of who was behind a lot of these attacks on him. And after that, or now, I'd say the last 3 or 4 issues, it has just really gotten excellent again.
Yeah.
And you know, they had the artist step in there for Chris Samney for a couple of issues.
Rodriguez?
Rodriguez, yeah, Rodriguez, who thumbs up, way up, and Marvel, you need to get him on a book immediately.
Yeah.
But Chris Samney's back to round this to finish off everything.
I think the last issue, 36, is going to be an extra-sized issue, but I could be mistaken. I thought that I read something about it being a double-sized or a larger issue.
I thought you said exercise.
Extra size.
I was like, an exercise issue? What? I don't know what that is. Yeah. So,
but in 35, guys, there's been a lot of good things going on with this. You need to be getting on this series, even if this is wrapping up, because it's launching into a new one. Yeah. But like last issue, after Daredevil, Matt Murdock went and spoke to Stephen Strange, Dr. Strange, about the tome, the book that they had.
Yeah.
He was like, so, hey, does this book have incantations to like heal things?
Yeah.
You know, just these moments where when you mention Foggy and stuff, there's just
he is willing to be more human than maybe a superhero. You know, if it's not like he's going to be selfish and use that to help a friend.
Exactly.
There, rather than going, well, it's too dangerous. You shouldn't do something like that.
He'd be willing to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's awesome. Awesome.
You saw what he did with the book. You saw that he was still willing to go that route that some superheroes might not. Loved it. That rounds out everything for me.
That's everything for you?
Yeah.
Guys, 2 of them real quick I'm looking forward to. We got Superior Spider-Man number 25. This is a supersized 25th issue, and we've got the Superior Spider-Man. The Otto Octavius is the superior Venom in this series. Venom has taken him over. The symbiote has taken him over. And now, if you thought what he was doing as Superior Spider-Man was like hardcore, imagine him now as Venom, because now there's like less of that restraint that we've seen with last issue especially. And then also, guys, we see the Goblin King is still working on his machinations in the background, and the Avengers show up in this issue as well. And the next one, last one for me, is Thor God of Thunder number 17 hitting the shelf. This is the grand finale of the Accursed storyline. With this last issue, it looks like we found out who the traitor in the midst of them was. And I love how it all culminates to this little meat shop in Brooklyn or whatever it was, in New York or something.
That sells Asgardian meat.
Exactly. all these meats of the 9 realms or whatever.
Weird.
But we'll find out. Did Thor really kill that guy? Did he kill?
Yeah.
Did that really happen? Did he really do that? But guys, we're going to see what happens with these characters, this team of the League of Realms. We're going to find out what happens ultimately with Malekith, and going forward from there and launching us into another wave of the Marvel Now stuff with Thor God of Thunder. So
and the best part about this book is the book following it sees the return of Asad Ribic on art. I'm sorry, but I'm looking forward to that. It was a marriage made in heaven there between him and Jason Aaron.
Yes.
So needs to happen again pronto.
Yes, ASAP. Guys, that is it. We have talked a lot. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Tell us what you're getting. Remember our question of the week? You're in charge of Marvel. What are the top 3 things that you're going to change right now? And tell us what you're getting this week. Tell us if you're getting these new number 1s that we mentioned, especially Miracleman number 1. And check out Gravel, Combat Magician. I think that you'll really like it. Let us know what you're getting. Get it. Tell us about it. Talk to us down in the comments below. Sign into Google+. That's how it is now. Acadian Descendant, I'm talking to you. Please do that. Make sure that you're doing that because...
Still haven't?
I haven't seen anything else from him or her. I'm not sure. But, guys, we really appreciate it. That wraps it up for this week. We are ExcaliburCCG.com, Excalibur Comics, Cards and Games, and Shreveport and Texarkana. You can follow us on our site, Facebook, all that jazz. You know what to do. The MP3's down below. Anything else to add, sir?
Just spread the word about us, guys. We are informative. We love informing, talking with, and making new friends.
Yes. Yes, and if you're in the shop, Randy's here just about every day. And if you love the show, tell him what's going on. Tell him what you're picking up, checking out. He may have some recommendations for you. We got these nice books here for you to pick up and action figures and so much more. Leave a comment below. Thank you for watching. Until next time, take care.